Hi everyone, this is Jeremy Railton. I'll be your instructor this semester, and the purpose of this video is to give you a brief walkthrough of how the course works. So we'll just dive right in. One of the first things you'll see here is the syllabus. More on that in just a second. One of the incredibly important things you'll find here is the course schedule. You can click on that, click this little guy here. That'll bring up all the due dates for the semester. You can also just download this by clicking the download button here or here. Either one of those works. As you'll see, it's very detailed. So for Chapter 1 quiz, Chapter 1 assignment due on September 2nd. Now, check your course schedule to be clear because there are regular start and late start sections of this course. So check your course schedule in your course to make sure you're getting the right dates. Okay, you can see a little bit about me here. All that stuff is in the syllabus as well. One of the most important things you'll do just to get started in this first day or two is to go into the Start Here area and do the course entry quiz. You don't have to know anything to do it. It's incredibly important because it registers your entry into the course, so you aren't accidentally withdrawn next week once a specific date passes. So just do it here the first day. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're in the course. You don't have to worry about being dropped. There's also a lot of other stuff in here. Click through to just learn as much as you can. We can talk about the textbook for just a second. There's a picture of the cover. We're using Cheeseman's Business Law, the 11th edition. You can buy access from the bookstore on campus. You can also just buy directly from Pearson. I'll give you a link there to where you can buy directly from Pearson in order to get that ebook. It will be important to have access to the book just so you can do some of the assignments and pretty much all the quizzes. Now that you've done that, let's pretend you're ready to just jump into the first chapter's worth of work. So once you've reviewed the syllabus, all that stuff, you did the course entry quiz, you're ready to go ahead and just dive right into Chapter 1. Okay, you'll click here. You're going to read the chapter first, obviously. You can see an overview and learning objectives. For each chapter, I'll post a lecture video where some people like to hear their instructor talk them through the material rather than just reading on their own. So I have a video in each chapter where you can listen to me talk you through all the material. So hopefully that makes it make more sense. I also have a copy of the lecture slides there, so you can download those and follow along. Having access to those PowerPoints will be helpful later on when it comes time to review for the final exam. You can download those and keep them for your own files. So we've watched the video. Sometimes there'll be some additional study materials here where you can look at things like key terms, flashcards, stuff like that. And I give you some links to outside sources that correlate with the chapter's content. Now that we know all the chapter's content, we're ready to go ahead and do our assignments. So you would just click on either the quiz or the assignment, whichever one you want to do first. You do whatever it asks for, and then you submit it, and then you're good. And then you'll find that this pattern holds pretty much throughout the course. Chapter 2 will look very similar. Of course, the content will be different, but the structure is pretty much the same. Once you do a chapter or two, you'll pretty much have it down, and then you can just, continue on throughout the course. You'll notice a midterm exam here about halfway through. If we scroll all the way down, we'll see a link for the final exam. You won't be able to take that until the end of the semester, but just so you know where it is, I have it there available, or at least the link is visible, but not available yet. Let's look at the syllabus because some of you will have some questions about course policies. This is what our syllabus looks like. Again, your meeting times might look a little bit different if you're in a late start version of this class. You can see my contact info here. My email address, my office location, my office hours. I'm virtually available most of the time, and then I'm much quicker to get back to you between the hours of 8 and 4. And then on campus, I'll be on campus Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8 to 1. If you'd like to come visit, just drop me a line so I'm not running around campus when you come, but I'd be happy to meet with you. More information on the book that's redundant from what we just saw in Blackboard. One of the big things about attendance is just measured by you logging in and doing work in Blackboard. Now, sometimes things happen and you have to do something late or whatever. The biggest thing is that you don't go more than 21 consecutive days without submitting some type of work in Blackboard, because the campus rule on that is that I have to withdraw you. I really don't want that to happen. The way your grade is calculated is half of it is our assignments. Those are case studies, they're web research activities, they can be opinion assignments. And then the other half will be tests, like chapter quizzes are 30%, 10% for the midterm, 10% for the final exam. And we use a standard 10-point scale. I do accept late work with some conditions attached to that. I accept it up to 6 days late, and there will be a 10-point penalty per day that it's late past the due date. Okay, after 6 days elapses past the due date, the assignment's unavailable and you just won't be able to click on it anymore. You don't have to email me an excuse. All you have to do is just log in and just do the assignment, and then it's helpful to notify me that you've done it. That way I remember to go back in there and grade it after I've graded everybody else's. But the answer is yes, you can do late work with those conditions in mind. The only other big thing I want to talk to you about is... oh, right here. Other important information. Okay. So we're living in an increasingly AI world here, but AI stuff for law, and especially when we get specific to North Carolina, is not really that reliable. So we're not going to use AI to do our coursework in this course. So I give you sources. You have your textbook, you have my lesson notes, you have my videos. You'll have sources that I link within the notes and sources that I link within assignment instructions. Those are the sources that you use, and you'll be citing these sources when you are doing papers. If I look at a paper and I suspect that it's been AI generated, I'm just going to assign it a 0 and then prompt you to contact me so that we can meet to discuss. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe you actually wrote it and it's original to you. In which case, it'll be really easy to convince me of that. And we'll go from there. So if you successfully convince me that you originated this paper, then I'll go back and we'll just grade it normally. But if not, then that 0 will stand and we'll move on. If there are multiple instances of this, I might have to report it higher up the chain. I don't anticipate that happening. But that's where we stand on AI. So I think that's it for now. That should give you enough to jump into the course and go ahead and get going. If you have questions along the way, let me know. I'll be happy to help. And we'll get everybody through here and hopefully learn a lot and have a great time. All right. Thank you.